Hi, my name is Raj Bhuti, and I'm from the Revive Earth Foundation. And today, I'm proud to tell you that we have many different ways to prevent food insecurity and to better the environment. Number one, the problem. What exactly is the problem? Our nonprofit knows how damaging plastic can be to food systems. Today, the soil is far less fertile, and this is mainly because trash and litter that seeps into the soil and pollutes it. This increase in soil pollution not only impacts malnourished people, but it also hurts 3.2 billion people around the world. The value proposition. Here at Revive Earth, we have a unique way to solve this problem. First, we can educate communities on what they can do to help the environment. Many people litter without knowing how the harms of littering. We can educate them to show how bad littering actually is so they could stop doing it. Secondly, through community cleanups. Cleanups such as the California Coastal Cleanup have cleaned up over 26 billion pounds of trash with community cleanups. Community cleanups have worked very well in the past, and they've made sure that litter gets away from beaches and many other places. We need to continue them. The impacts. There are many impacts. Increase in crop yields. Having less plastics in our soil and water means that plants have an easier time to grow. Soil and water are essentials for plants to grow, but right now there are microplastics that are being found in the soil and water. This is preventing plants to grow, which means that there's less food for people across the world. However, when we do community cleanups, that means there's less trash that can seep into the soil and water. Decrease food waste. Educating the community about the dangers of food waste means that people only buy the amount they need. People don't realize that when there's food wasted, there's greenhouse gas emissions that go into the air, and they don't realize the harm of that. If we can educate them, we can prevent that. Keeping food safe. Having less plastic in our environment means that animals will eat less plastic, keeping our food more clean and more animal safe. How can we apply this? There are four main ways we can apply this at a small scale. In communities, as we mentioned before, community cleanups. In schools, decreasing trash in schools allows for a betterment in health. There's so much trash in schools right now, and it's just disturbing the students. If we can prevent that, that means students just simply do better and it's a safer environment. In natural reserves, decreasing littering in national parks. We want to preserve national parks for as long as the earth is alive. And right now, it's seeming less and less possible because of all the trash that's in the environment. With community cleanups, we can stop this trash from entering these natural reserves. In companies, ask them to decrease emissions. So many companies use fossil fuels because it's the easy alternative. If we can show them how harmful fossil fuels actually are, they can prevent using them because the easier path isn't always the best path. Customers, our customers, corporations. Corporations can use our help by decreasing their carbon emissions. Carbon emissions is making it very hard for plants to grow, but companies don't realize that. We need to bring it to their attention. And once we do, they will notice how better it is. Communities. This can include parks or even neighborhoods. A few weeks ago, I remember seeing a plastic all over my neighbor's apple bush. This just showed how bad it's becoming. And with community and neighborhood cleanups, we can prevent that. Schools. Schools can use our help because right now, as I mentioned before, there's a lot of plastic inside of schools. And this is just becoming a huge problem because students aren't living in a safe environment. So when we add Revive Earth and implement it into the school system, we can remove the trash. Channels. Our channels. We have four main channels. Social media. Advertising to social media and different platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, or even YouTube. Holding events, connecting with our community and their members. Right now, as we mentioned before, there's a lot of trash in the community, and holding the events not only reduces the trash, but it also applies for community bonding. Online seminars or even in-person seminars. Holding these seminars to educate the community are very beneficial. As we mentioned before, we can do online seminars, but not only that, we can do seminars in schools to maximize the amount of education we can provide. Local businesses, increasing our ability to outreach. Many people buy from local businesses or even businesses in general. If we can allow them to advertise us, we can get a larger outreach. Customer relationships. We hold seminars and cleanups to check with our community to know what we are doing right by them. If we can continue to do community cleanups, we can build better relationships with our community, which means our community becomes stronger as a whole. Our market size. 3.2 billion people have been affected by low quality soil because, as we mentioned before, the soil gets affected by microplastics. When these microplastics enter the soil, it becomes a very huge problem because plants aren't able to grow properly. Because of the low quality soil, 702 million people have become malnourished. It's becoming a large problem, and since it's such a large scale, we need to take action fast, which is why we do the community cleanups and which is why we educate the community. 23.7 billion pieces of litter that we can clean up to create a better future. There's so much litter everywhere, but it just seems like the problem just keeps getting worse every year. We need to make sure that the problem becomes better every year. That the problem becomes better every year. Our partners. So we have many different key partners, such as companies, collaborating with companies to reduce their plastic waste. Companies like Google are very interested in the environment, and partnering up with them could be very beneficial. Communities, holding events that partner up with the community to reduce waste and trash in cities. Community cleanups are going to be very beneficial because they've worked in the past and they'll continue working to make sure that trash and plastic reduces everywhere. Schools, raising awareness inside of schools, targeting elementary schools, middle schools, and even high schools to make sure that they know about the harms of littering, to make sure it stays with them for their whole life so we can reduce litter. Revenue. We are a nonprofit organization, so we don't actually have any revenue. All of our profits go towards the community and towards the environment. Costs. We have many different costs. So one of them are workshops. As we mentioned before, we plan on holding seminars. So we plan on holding seminars and we have an incentive that many costs will actually be going there. Marketing. Marketing to local businesses is something we plan on doing. So we might need some time and money on that. Legal documents. If you want to be established as a nonprofit, it is not free. There are many documents that cost money, so we plan on implementing that. Permits and fees. Sometimes it costs money to enter parks or even book them in advance. That's why we would need that. Volunteer incentives. When we hold our community events, we want to make sure that our community leaves back happy. So maybe holding pizza parties after the event would be very, really beneficial. Supplies. 45% of our money is going to go to supplies to make sure when we do our events and seminars, the people that are attending them feel as comfortable as possible and we make sure that they're with the right supplies. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you can join us on our adventure. You may remember, you can be the difference.